moving that jab up and down. And then when you go downstairs, take that downstairs, come up with the left hook. It's gonna be open, because it's gonna fall down into it. Anytime you jab down low, just keep trying to come over the top.
Like you could say, hey, you know what? I can't beat that Mayweather style. I was too young, but look, I did it now against Crawford.
I forget Mayweather a long time ago. This is different for me, you know? I lost that day, and that's it. I learned a lot.
You liking Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was young.
Canelo Alvarez is no longer brushing this off as just another fight. After learning that Terence Crawford sparred with Floyd Mayweather during training camp, Canelo took offense and made it clear this isn't just business anymore. It's personal. Canelo believes Crawford is crossing a line, not just by linking up with Mayweather, but by repeatedly disrespecting his legacy. He feels targeted, like Crawford is trying to make him look weak or outdated in front of the world. Now, Canelo's not just fighting for belts, he's fighting for pride.
A little bit about that, did things get a little bit personal now?
Yeah, a little bit more personal because, you know, I did respect him. I don't respect him anymore because he say, I'm not gonna do what they want me to do and this and that. And then he tried to, maybe Turki Al-Ashi told him, hey, you need to do something because you seem so nervous in Riyadh. So and he tried to like he walking me back, and that's why I pushed him. And you know, like I say, don't fuck with me.
From Terence Crawford's point of view, Canelo's resume is inflated. Crawford points out that many of the big names on Canelo's record, like Shane Mosley, Miguel Cotto, and Sergey Kovalev, were past their prime when they fought him. And when Canelo faced a true elite fighter in his prime, Floyd Mayweather, he was completely outclassed. They call it greatness, but I see smoke and mirrors. Crawford says Crawford also feels personally disrespected by how Canelo has dismissed his own achievements. He believes Canelo is trying to downplay his rise by ignoring the level of competition he's faced.
About Canelo's resume, but I won't. You know, I wanna, you know, pay homage to the fighters that he fought, and if he don't wanna pay homage to the fighters I fought, if he think they nobodies, then come fight time, then I wonder what they're gonna say after I beat him.
Promoter Eddie Hearn isn't blind to the physical advantage Canelo holds. But he isn't ready to count Crawford out either. Crawford's belief in himself is real, Hearn says, and belief can beat size. He points to Crawford's laser focus and discipline, calling it a rare edge that can level the playing field, even against a naturally bigger opponent like Canelo, controlling pace, distance, rhythm. Crawford's a master of all three, Hearn explains. And that's how you close the size gap.
For him, like, not against him, sorry, for him, like, he's so, I think he has no doubt that he beats Canelo Alvarez.
Of course.
I really like Terence Crawford. I think he's a great fighter. But I have to say, like, tell me his major significant wins.
Well, obviously Errol Spence.
Yeah, but
right?
come on.
No, but he beat a guy who was in the top 5 pound for pound, and he destroyed him. That's really never happened.
No, I agree.
History.
I agree. I mean, look, he was coming off, you know, some eye problems, but
nobody was saying that when he was beating.
But we're giving that credit.
And Ugas.
Tell me more.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
That's a big win.
No,
now,
okay. Keep going.
Your guy from the UK, who he stopped him, what, in the 5th round, was it?
Kell Brook. Finished by then. Yeah, go on, keep going.
Okay, he stopped somebody that nobody's ever really can hurt.
Well,
Sean Porter.
I mean, yeah, but that was about 8 years before, and Errol Spence.
That wasn't. What do you mean?
Yeah, when he beat Sean Porter.
No, that was in 2023.
Who?
Terence Crawford beat Sean Porter.
No, I'm talking about Kell Brook against Sean Porter.
No, I was talking about Bud. I'm not talking about that. Yeah. But he stopped him. Nobody's ever able to really hurt Sean.
By the way, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just
that was a great win.
Like an open
and he didn't have a lot of names at 140, but Postal and all those guys, those are good fighters. They weren't big names. Just like Bam, he doesn't have the great. He doesn't have a whole lot of great names. Just like
Strada.
In a way, in a way, yeah, he does have two great fights. In a way,
by the way, he's one of my favorite fighters.
In a way, doesn't have a bunch of names.
John Ryder, who shared the ring with Canelo, doesn't sugarcoat it. Canelo's physicality is overwhelming. Crawford stepping into a real storm. He knows exactly how heavy Canelo's presence feels inside the ropes, and he admits the weight jump for Crawford is a massive leap. But even with that, Ryder gives credit where it's due. If anyone can solve that puzzle, it's Crawford, he says. His ring IQ, his adaptability, he's got tools most guys don't. In Ryder's eyes, this isn't just strength versus speed. It's a battle of minds.
You go up 2 divisions. A lot of people in his camp believe that he's even going to stop him, but yeah, what's your thoughts?
If there's any man that could do it, it would be Terence Crawford, but I just think the sheer size of Canelo is going to be too much on the line.
So do you think size will be too much? I mean, you were in there with Canelo, you landed good shots and he took them, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent, but I think the size will be the factor on the night and it'd just be too big, too strong.
Terence Crawford isn't entering this fight recklessly. He's approaching it with surgical precision that he sees 2 clear paths of victory against Canelo Alvarez. Apply relentless pressure, disrupt Canelo's rhythm, and overwhelm him with volume or take a calculated approach, using slick defense, sharp counters, and elite footwork, following the same blueprint Floyd Mayweather used to perfection. Crawford admits he doesn't have Mayweather's size advantage from that time, but he trusts his speed, timing, and adaptability. I'm a hybrid, Crawford says. Aggressive when I need to be, surgical when I want to be. And that, he believes, is the key to solving the Canelo puzzle.
There's 2 things that you can do with somebody bigger and stronger. You know, you can either try to push them back, you know, because 9 times out of 10, a strong fighter not used to going back. You know, so it kind of fucks them up in the head, you know. Yeah. Or you can just box them because some of them just slower than others because they got flat feet, and they just looking to load up on certain shots.
Now, Crawford's definitely right here. There's 2 ways to beat a pressure fighter like Canelo. Either you put the pressure back on him, which is where guys like Triple G and Bivol had success, or you use your superior skills and footwork on the outside, which is how Floyd Mayweather won. Now, Crawford, he can't use the pressure approach because he's not as physically dominant as guys like Golovkin or Bivol. You know, Bud is a welterweight or junior middleweight jumping up. He doesn't have the size to push Canelo back. Now, the outside boxing approach, that is definitely Crawford's best chance against Canelo. You know, he is right, Canelo does struggle to cut off the ring at times. We saw that in the Skull fight. And he does load up on single shots now. But at the same time, Crawford is not the same pure boxer that Floyd Mayweather was. You know, Mayweather rarely got hit in that shell. And his form of countering, you know, a pull counter, for example, was, I'm not going to get touched and then I'll make you pay. Whereas Crawford's style of counterpunching is different. Bud will take one to throw 2 or 3 back, and he can't do that against Canelo because of the size and power difference. If Bud takes a clean right hand to throw back an uppercut or a hook, he's either going to get dropped or he's going to end up on his bike like Jermell Charlo. So while I do agree Crawford does have the superior skill set in this fight, but because he doesn't have the size to push Canelo back, or the defense of someone like Mayweather stay perfect for 12 rounds on the outside, I do think Canelo's size and power will make the difference in this fight, and that's why I like Canelo to win.
Joe Rogan sees a wind shifting, though he acknowledges Canelo Alvarez is still elite, but notes signs of declining speed and stamina, something that can't be ignored. In contrast, Crawford is in his prime, dominating across multiple weight classes and sharpening his skill set with every fight. This isn't a mismatch, Rogan says. It's a collision at the perfect moment, and the timing favors Crawford. For Rogan, the pound-for-pound king is ready, and this fight is far closer than people think.
You liking Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was younger.
Do you think Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah, I think he can win.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to win, but I think he can win. He's going to have to box a brilliant fight.
If Ray Leonard could beat Marvelous Marvin Hagler, then Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. Why do you say that? Same equation. Get in, get out. Get in, get out.
Yeah.
Over and over and over. He's got to figure the angles and the approaches that will allow him to step in, land to the body, or occasionally upstairs, and then get out.
Legendary commentator Jim Lampley sees this as more than a super fight.to him. It's not just about belts or rankings. It's about pride and legacy. While the size difference is undeniable, Lampley says both men are driven by the same fire. Their hunger to prove greatness is what defines them, not their physical tools. In Lampley's eyes, this is a kind of matchup where true champions are forged.
Crawford is going to fight Canelo because even if I have some doubts and misgivings about the size matchup, it is two action fighters who like to fight aggressively at times, not all the times, going against each other, and we'll see who can open the other person's tuna can, so to speak.
Max Kellerman doesn't mince words. Terence Crawford is the current king of the pound-for-pound list, period. While Kellerman respects Canelo's resume, he believes Canelo's peak is behind him. He points to Crawford's dominant, flawless performances, regardless of opponent or weight. Meanwhile, Canelo has looked vulnerable, especially against Mitri Bivol and even John Ryder, performances that suggest he's slipping just as Crawford is peaking.
You know who's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world? Bud Crawford. Apologies to the monster and Usyk. Bud Crawford has my vote for best pound-for-pound. Who was the best pound-for-pound before Bud? Canelo Alvarez, universally recognized that way. But it's not just these two guys, the last two best pound-for-pound fighters in the world.
Trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas brings a nuanced view that he respects Canelo Alvarez, calling him a complete and disciplined fighter. But when he talks about Terence Crawford, his tone shifts. Crawford is special. Atlas says, a word he reserved for rare talents with deep instinct and intelligence in the ring. He praises Crawford's ability to adjust mid-fight, stay calm under fire, and finish opponents clinically. While Canelo is great, Atlas believes Crawford's adaptability and ring IQ set him apart.
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire, it's in his mind, it's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class, can he carry it? But those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
Former Canelo opponent Daniel Jacobs has seen both men up close, and he draws a critical distinction. Crawford's speed is different. It's unpredictable. It's explosive. Jacobs also points out Crawford's stance switching and his ability to punch from unusual angles, which makes him hard to read. After breaking down both fighters' tools, Jacobs leans toward Crawford. If I had to bet, I'd go with Crawford, he says. His timing, sharpness, and fight
sparring, but I had at least over 15 years of knowing him, amateur, professional. I've seen where he started. I've seen how he's gotten better over time, but I also just know what resides in him. He's a dog, he's a beast, and he's out to prove something too. So I'm excited about this fight. Canelo obviously is self-explanatory. There's really no need to go down the rabbit hole when it comes to him. But I do see this being as a 50-50 fight. But if I was a betting man, I would bet on Crawford. But also too, you can't count Canelo out. I mean, would go in, I'm assuming, as the favorite, which is rightfully so.
A lot of people say that version that you fought was probably the best, Canelo Alvarez. And since then, obviously, naturally, he's slightly declined. Yeah. Do you see this decline that people talk about?
Well, I can see in increments because Canelo, which I've always said is an amazing, legendary fighter, but he fights in spurts. So sometimes it takes for the opponent to actually initialize him giving the best. When he was faced with me, the opposition that I had and what I was giving him, it was just a lot, whether it was boxing, whether it was coming forward, but most importantly, it was the punches and bunches. And so he was forced to either stand there, wait for the right time, or be combative and go back at it. So I think that's what Crawford may have to do, push the pressure, make Canelo fight, or maybe just play it safe, win on points.
Brian Bomac McIntyre, Crawford's longtime coach, says this isn't just a training camp. It's a strategic operation that he believes time is on their side. The more we prepare, the sharper Crawford gets, physically, mentally, emotionally. Everything, from nutrition and conditioning to film study and game planning, has been carefully tailored for one target, Canelo Alvarez. This isn't just about fighting, it's about precision, and we're dialed in.
Different approach in terms of crafting a plan and going into camp?
No, not really. We know the type of fighter Canelo is. So
as a fighter, you mentally prepare for things like that. And then as a trainer, just making sure he's sharp. His mental game is sharp, his physical game is sharp. Strength-wise, nutrition is everything. Got to, like I said, hitting on all cylinders. So by the time you step in that ring, it's easy picking.
Rising star Jaron Boots Ennis takes a realistic stance. While he fully respects Crawford's skill, he warned that skill alone may not be enough against a fighter as physical as Canelo. If Crawford can't make Canelo respect his power, things can shift fast. Ennis emphasizes that damage matters, and Crawford, moving up in weight, will have to prove he can hurt a bigger, stronger man. Skill is crucial, but you've got to bring some heat. Otherwise, Canelo will walk through it.
I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo, because like I said before, he been putting big guys out and down, and Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60 maybe, and he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it. So, so be it.